As the title suggests, I'm presenting a theory of psi based on the computational universe hypothesis that I have been working on for some time now. We already have many theories of psi. Here I list a selection of them. I trust you are familiar with this selection, so I'm not going to discuss them in detail. One comment I would like to make is that most existing theories of psi have been developed based on existing scientific theories, deploying existing concepts from physics, such as quantum, field, and hyperdimension. They all have some partial success in explaining some aspect of psi. Some researchers, however, believe that we need to have radically new theories to account for the full range of psi phenomena, i.e., we need a new science paradigm. In Jacques Vallé's words, parapsychology should lead, not to follow. We parapsychologists should lead the development of new science paradigm. For us to lead the next paradigm shift in science, we should pay attention to what is hottest technology we have in use. This is because in science, we rely heavily on theoretical models, and those models are built on technological metaphors. So we use those metaphors to build the models of the universe. In mechanical era, we modeled the macro universe as a clock-like machine. When human society was electrified, we modeled the micro-universe as electrically charged particles. Now we are in the information age. We have new conceptual metaphors available to us, such as computer, information processing, big data, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. These new concepts inspires us to develop a new model of the universe. The model I'm proposing is built on the concept of virtual reality. The hypothesis posits that, analogous to how a virtual reality environment is embedded within the physical world, our physical universe is embedded within a higher order transcendent universe. We posit that there is an operating computer in the realm of forms proposed by Plato. We call it the Platonic computer. The material computer made of silicon is only a shadow of the Platonic computer. The material computer renders the virtual reality, whereas the Platonic computer renders the phenomenal reality. Platonic computation model hypothesizes that the cosmos has a hierarchical construction and consists of multiple nesting parallel universes, each successive universe operating at a distinct vibration frequency corresponding to its computational clock speed. In this paradigm, alternate states of consciousness, such as dreams, meditation, psychedelic state, and near-death states, function as frequency tuner, enabling individual consciousness to access and process information from a specific universe, analogous to selecting channels on a TV set. The perceived reality of our ordinary waking state, that is, the physical universe, is only a single channel among many potential accessible information channels. We exist at all levels of nesting parallel universes as nesting dolls, conceiving and perceiving the nesting parallel universes. So we ourselves are observer of all these parallel universes. The proposed post-materialist cosmology can be summarized by these slides: a set of nesting parallel universes conceived and perceived by a set of nesting self. From this model, we can derive a hypothetical roadmap of transcendence. Ascending from the unconscious NPC to meta-consciousness, the self has potential to play a range of roles, such as the game player, software configurator, programmer, game developer, DI developer, I call it divine intelligence. And finally, we can reach the meta-consciousness, which is the source of the cosmos. When a higher self plays the role of the software configurator, real magic can be rendered and the psi can be manifested. There are three major categories of psi phenomena: ESP, PK, and survival. Let's look at the post-mortem survival first. According to Platonic computation model, a person exists as a superposition of their physical body and many levels of non-physical bodies in nesting parallel universes, like a set of nesting dolls sharing the same subjectivity. This subjectivity, which is the I-ness, does not depend on any particular body in the nesting dolls. Therefore, the end of any one body does not lead to the end of subjectivity. The model posits that the clock speed of the Platonic computer decreases exponentially when moving up the level of the parallel universes. This implies the lifespan of the higher self is exponentially longer compared to the lower self. The higher self thus survives after the end of the lower self. Let us look at the ESP, including telepathy, clairvoyance, remote viewing, and precognition. Again, we use video game to illustrate the principle of how ESP could be manifested. From the viewpoint of game character, the player is the higher self. The player would have access to the computer which renders the game world. Likewise, our higher self would have access to the Platonic computer that renders the physical reality. If our higher self can manage to access the Platonic computer database, in principle, all the information about this world can be accessed by the higher self. What about psychokinesis, i.e., mind over matter? If the higher self becomes active and plays the role of software configurator, the parameter of the physical engine can be locally and temporarily altered. For example, if gravity is switched off, levitation can be manifested. If rigidity is switched off, a solid object would pass through a solid barrier. By switching visibility on and off, a physical object can appear and disappear. In summary, we propose a post-materialist cosmology model in which realities, including transcendental reality, physical reality, and virtual reality, are rendered by computation. In this model, the material computer made of silicon is a shadow for imitation of the Platonic computer. The former renders the virtual reality, whereas the latter renders the physical and transcendent realities. The observer of the transcendent reality are our higher self. The higher self survives the death of the physical body. ESP is the result of the higher self accessing the database of the Platonic computer. Psychokinesis is caused by the higher self manipulating the parameters in the programs in the Platonic computer. Thank you for your attention. We can move on to the discussion session now. Thank you.